All right, let's just jump right in, because the entire world for precious metals just got turned completely upside down. Today we're going to break down what might be the single best way to play this brand new reality. I mean it. Forget everything you thought you knew about how silver is valued.
This is it. This is the new baseline. For years, this was the dream, right? People talked about it, hoped for it. Well, now it's here. And the entire market is desperately trying to figure out what everything is worth now. And you know what? Most of them are getting it completely wrong.
Yeah, because while all the headlines are screaming about the price of an ounce of silver, the truly life-changing gains are happening somewhere else. The smart money, the big institutions, they aren't just buying the metal. No, they're on the hunt for something way more explosive. They're looking for operational leverage. It's simple, really. It means finding the companies whose profits literally multiply for every single dollar that silver goes up.
And that brings us to this idea. We're calling it the silver decoupling. Basically, it means in a world with triple-digit silver, all the old spreadsheets and models for valuing miners, they're useless. You can just throw them out, because their profits don't just go up, they completely transform into something else entirely.
So here's the bottom line. You want to find the one company whose profit margins just explode higher with the silver price. You're looking for a low-cost producer that's growing like a weed, with a ton of silver in the ground that just got a massive overnight revaluation.
And that hunt, it leads us straight to one name. Let me introduce you to Aya Gold and Silver. And look, this isn't just some random company hoping to get lucky in a rising market. No, this company feels like it was engineered for this exact moment. Just look at that number, 193%. That is Aya's mind-blowing production growth for 2025. This is not just a number on a page, it's proof. While the rest of the industry was basically asleep at the wheel, this team was out there executing, perfectly positioning themselves to become a powerhouse right when the market caught fire. You're going to want to remember that ticker, AYA. It's the symbol of that incredible execution. And this growth? It's not some fairy tale projection. It's happening right now as we speak. It's the proof that this team knows how to get things done.
You know, when you take that kind of best-in-class growth and you combine it with a truly historic bull market in silver, you don't just get a good story. You get the clear, undisputed leader of the entire pack.
But listen, growth is huge, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. Where a company operates is every bit as important as how it operates. And for Aya, well, their foundation is an absolute fortress, built on geopolitical safety and just world-class performance.
And don't just gloss over this, because it's a massive deal. It's a huge de-risking factor. In a world where you're constantly worried about governments changing the rules, having your main assets in a stable, pro-mining country like Morocco, that gives you a level of security that big money absolutely craves. It's a true safe haven.
And inside that fortress, they are absolutely crushing it. Their main mine, Zgounder, is running at 41% above what it was designed for. I mean, think about that for a second. That's not just being efficient. That is a level of operational excellence that flows directly to the bottom line as pure profit. And that's exactly what Zgounder has become. With these new silver prices, it's not a mine anymore. It's like a fire hose of free cash flow. It's funding all their growth, all their exploration, and it's doing it without having to hurt shareholders.
Okay, now for the real heart of this whole thing, let's do the math that the wider market is only just starting to wake up to. This is where you see the true, undeniable scale of this opportunity.
We're going to look at two completely different worlds. There's the old world, with silver under 30 bucks, and then there's the new reality of $100 silver. And the difference isn't just a little bigger, it's a fundamental rewrite of the company's entire economic DNA.
Just look at this. Back at $26 silver, some of their ounces in the ground, they were barely worth digging up. They were just, numbers in a report. But at $100 silver, whoa, they transform into incredibly high-margin, profitable ore. The profit margins don't just double or triple, they go parabolic. This right here is the very definition of leverage. So what does that do to the value of all that silver they have sitting in the ground? It means their resource of over 100 million ounces gets revalued to over $7 billion. Let that sink in for a second. This is a company whose current market cap is a fraction of that. The value of the reserves alone just dwarfs where the stock is trading today.
So you've got this massive gap between what it's worth and the current price. So what closes that gap? The answer is a tidal wave of institutional buying. We are about to see the big funds, the ones who need scale and real cash flow, wake up to this story in a big way.
See, the really hard work, the big expansion, that's pretty much done. 2025 proves they can build what they promised, which takes a ton of risk off the table. 2026 is going to be the year they show the world just how much cash this fine-tuned machine can spit out. The company is literally graduating from a growth story into a cash flow gusher. And that attracts a whole new kind of serious investor.
And here are the specific things to watch for that will literally force the market to pay attention. We're looking for drill results from their other massive project, Boumadine. We're waiting on new targets for 2026 that'll put a hard number on that cash flow potential. Every single one of these news items is going to force the big analysts to update their models, and they're all going to come to the same conclusion. This stock is just too cheap.
All right, so let's tie this all together. What is the one final, inescapable thing you need to take away from this deep dive into Aya Gold and Silver?
It really is this simple. In this new world of triple-digit silver, if you want the most possible upside, the most torque, you want a company with proven execution, insane production growth, in a top-tier location with a resource that has been fundamentally changed forever. Now, every investment has risks, of course, but Aya just ticks every single box.
And of course, just as a quick reminder, this is all for educational purposes. This is not financial advice. You've always got to do your own homework before making any kind of investment decision.
But we're going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. The entire market is built on old models and assumptions from a time that just doesn't exist anymore. So as you watch all of this play out, you just have to ask yourself, in a world where silver has found a completely new home, how many of the old rules even matter anymore?